Greetings once again, fellow YouTubers and internet users. Some of you may remember me from my recent audition for the web channel known as 5 College Gents. Of course, I have not yet received confirmation on that. But anyway, I recently started a YouTube channel known as Jay's Place 20. Originally wanted to call it Jay's Zone, but that was taken. Anyway, I figured that I've already started getting a couple subscribers, so I should really start doing something to entertain my adoring public. So anyway, I decided that I would start doing occasional movie reviews for movies that that I really enjoy, or that just a lot of people would know about and considered a big thing. So let's get started. Okay, so the movie that I will be reviewing is Buried. Some of you may have heard of it. Low-budget film, not supposed to come out in most theaters until October 8th. However, my local Loews in Boston ended up getting it a week early, so that's kind of sweet. Anyway, it stars Ryan Reynolds, who's normally known for doing comedies, so it was interesting seeing him in a serious role this time around. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with the plot of the film, it's about a guy, I guess average guy, who ends up waking up trapped in a coffin buried underground. Ooh, spooky. But in all seriousness, just imagine that. Waking up, pitch black, you have no idea where you are, and then, well, once you find a light source of some kind, in his case, a lighter, yeah, that's a bad idea, and finding out that you're in this wooden box, like just big enough to fit your body inside of the thing, and that you're underground. Allow me to demonstrate.
So, you see, I'm lying on a couch that's just long enough to fit my body on it. Now, keep in mind, I'm 6 feet tall, so this may vary. Actually, Reynolds is a big guy, 6'2". But yeah, just picture lying just on your back, you're asleep, and you wake up, pitch black, total darkness.
Yes, I realize I hammed that up, but I wasn't trying to be too serious with that. So just go with me. Okay, so after the initial shock, obviously he begins searching around the coffin. I know, very confined space, but trust me, he does find a few things. Obviously, first he finds a lighter, which helps him see. Of course, that's also going to burn up oxygen, which he does realize throughout, so he tries not to use it too much. Of course, eventually, before too long, he does find a cell phone via vibration. So he begins by calling family members, people he knows, and help numbers like the FBI and stuff, and anyone, any way he can get found, get out of there, or just figure out what's going on. Think about that. You're in a box, buried underground. How can you even get a signal? Obviously, you can't be buried too far underground, that's for sure. But, what are they going to track the signal? Keep in mind, this guy is somewhere in the Iraqi desert. That's not good. So, naturally, as time goes on, the situation just keeps getting more and more desperate. He's running out of oxygen every minute, and he keeps trying to call people, trying to get help, trying to figure out where he is, get found, and just having, next to no luck. I mean, he does get a little progress going, but seriously. Aren't freakouts fun? But I think I've said enough about the events of the film. I don't want you all to get bored. Please don't stop. So, let's start talking about the setting. Okay, so, we know where that is. It's a guy in a coffin just big enough to fit him. Okay, that's a very small place. So, in a movie like this, you would either expect it to be loaded with flashbacks and somehow showing things that are happening outside the coffin, above ground, or have the movie go on for a certain period of time and then have him wake up inside the coffin or something? No. He wakes up in the coffin in the very first scene of the movie, like right after the opening credits. So the audience knows about as much as him, which at that point is absolutely nothing. So yeah, we're experiencing it just as he's experiencing it. Well, minus being in the box. So consider that. No flashbacks, no cutaways. He's in the box for the entire movie. Like, he wakes up there, and the movie goes on from there. Like, the entire movie. He's in the box. And you don't see what's happening outside. You figure out things that are going on outside the box via phone calls and such, like helplines and family, people he knows, or people he doesn't know, but may be relevant. But like I said, I don't want to spoil anything. So now you might be thinking, oh, wait, he's in the box the entire movie? Like, we're not seeing anything outside this box? Like, that sounds totally boring. Well, you might think that, but in my opinion, you'd be wrong. They come up with so many different ideas. Obviously, there's the initial freak out, but there's him finding things in the box and calling people, having these arguments and stuff over the phone. And also, the movie, it's not really short. It's 95 minutes long. So just think of how much imagination they would have to put into that, how much material you have to come up with to have the movie go on for that long and not get boring. Something that should also be noted is how physically demanding a performance like that must be. I mean, think about it. It's you for the entire movie. You don't have anyone else around you, just people's voices over the phone.
Sure, it may look like he's lying down on the job. Everybody's a critic.
Well, I just noticed the irony in that statement. Am I a hypocrite? So I think I've gotten my point across on how serious a role this is and how much effort it really takes to make it believable. Now, it does seem like he's overacting a little bit at first, but if you think about it, like, who wouldn't act this way? Like, the major freakout, not to mention anxiety. Like, who wouldn't have anxiety in a situation like that? Seriously? So he really goes to such extreme emotions, like desperation, great sadness, anger, frustration. He even smiles a few times in the film. I know that might sound a little weird, but you kinda understand it at the time. Also, keep in mind, kiddies, a performance like this demands a lot of language, particularly in frustration over the phone calls, which at first aren't really getting him anywhere. That becomes a major concern throughout the film. Plenty of F-bombs, S-words, and even one use of the C-word. Needless to say, it's rated R. So let me wrap this up by saying that it's an incredibly powerful performance, powerful film, lots of thrills like twists and turns. I know, kind of hard to say when he's in a coffin, but it's such a major mind trip. Kept my attention right up into the end, which is just so intense, so suspenseful, and man, I don't think I've ever seen a movie quite like this, and I just can't give it anything lower than an 8, probably even a 9, just because of how intense it gets, and such a great performance by Reynolds, and, you know, anyone who can appreciate the genre of the psychological thriller, I can definitely see appreciating this film. You hear that, critics? You got this one right.
So if you like psychological thrillers, Ryan Reynolds' insane plot ideas, or any combination of the three, see Buried in theaters now. And if it's not in one of your theaters, it'll be on the 8th. I'll catch you later. I got some laundry to do. Peace.